Hello, it is myself in comics here with another indie interview with a guest of mine, A Dead Guys Productions, Jeremy for short, ha ha. And then we also have reoccurring guest Jon Dexter, a
Hello, how you
creator.
doing?
He's a creator of Dime Store Detectives and Alpha Dogs, but it looks like we have something new in store today, and maybe sci-fi.
Wah!
Thanks. Yeah, long time no see. I've got my Space Cruising issue 1 out. We're only about what are we about a little over $300 from funding. 16 days left, doing pretty good. But
Woohoo!
I'm tired of sweating it out. So if we could get even closer to getting this puppy funded, that'd be great.
You're pretty close, man.
Yeah.
I got faith. I think you're gonna make it just fine, to be honest.
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
I think so too. So yeah, it's this has been a long journey with Space Cruise, and I actually created back when I was a teenager, and then I partially produced it in 2012 until I ran out of money, and then it kind of sat on the shelf for many years, and then thankfully with the success of Alpha Dogs, I was able to raise the funds because you don't make any money on Kickstarter with your comic books. You're basically just paying for the next one, and thankfully I made enough off the graphic novel for Alpha Dogs that I was able to finally see my passion project hopefully come to print.
This, I
Nice.
mean, just this quick little, I guess, synopsis right here. It's already interesting as hell, man. Like, and what's
Yeah,
funny
it's
is
got a great
it's pretty
trailer.
obvious who each is.
Yeah.
Too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's basically these three outcasts: a enhanced Bushido warrior, a alien who loves pop culture, and a obsolete android. They travel the galaxy. Unlike they're not trying to save the planets from the Galactic Empire, or exploring new worlds. They're just trying to make a buck, tracking down Earthling artifacts and selling them. Well, they end up getting pulled into this galactic incident where that's their charge to try to save humanity. It's a comedy with a lot of action in it. It's kind of like Spaceballs meets Star Wars, a lot of satire. But yeah, it's a really fun comic that I think people are really going to enjoy. The trailer's pretty awesome. It gives you a good idea what it is, and it's a lot of fun too.
Okay, damn. I'm already freaking interested. Bianca, you want any questions before we check this trailer out?
I got a statement.
A statement is even better.
I like how the guy on the left looks like a monkey.
He looks a little monkeyish, and I can totally imagine him talking like this. I don't know why, but he does.
Yeah, he was a tough design because you want to do something original alien, and not make him too alienish, not make him too human. But I think he came out really well.
Okay. I'm gonna check. I think we should watch this trailer because he said it was really awesome, and now I want to check it out. Ooh. Wow.
Aha! So he is an alien chimp-looking thing.
Yes,
A
yes.
chimp alien-looking thing. Either one of those.
Yeah, the aliens all, when
Wow.
Earth is no longer sustainable for life, they have to travel light years away, find this two planets actually that are sustainable for life. But lo and behold, they have neighbors and all these different races of aliens who just become enamored with Earthling culture. That so they wear like Revolutionary War clothes, detective gumshoe clothes. The character Ace wears a cowboy hat, World War II bomber jacket, and Bianca, I know you're way too young to know this. The I shot JR T-shirt, which in the '80s, this TV show called Dallas. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about, Jeremy, but it was a big deal. It was a cliffhanger. Anyway, it's kind of like 80s catchphrases. He wears like "Where's the beef?" and all these fun catchphrases
Oh, that's
throughout
cool.
the 80s, 90s. I don't know what else I'll do in the future, but yeah. So the aliens just are enamored with Earthling pop culture.
Oh yeah, he needs a Noid shirt, a shirt with a Noid on it.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, definitely. But they hate Earthlings because they've come kind of implemented their laws. The aliens aren't happy with it, and they end up going to war. And unlike the popular, what we think of aliens as advanced species, these aliens are not. They're very primitive, and the war is pretty quick, pretty deadly, and humans come out on top. But so there's animosity constantly between the aliens and the humans, and that's kind of the world building that we come into. And these three outcasts kind of in their life, you've got the enhanced Bushido warrior that was used for the war, then disavowed by the government. This alien that loves pop culture, loves human culture, unlike a lot of his alien counterparts. His philosophy is humans have brought beer and TV into his life, so he's good with them. He's fine with them.
Heck
And
yeah.
and then you have the android that has been programmed with human emotions, and he's kind of a metaphor for the elderly. They're old, broke down, and nobody listens to them, but they have all this knowledge. So it's a fun comic. Like I said, it's got a lot of satire. It's kind of like Spaceballs meets Star Wars. You got Galaxy Quest. If you like those kind of
Galaxy Quest.
yeah, then you'd enjoy Space Cruising.
I like Spaceball and Star Wars.
Yeah.
His jacket does kind of look like what was his name from Spaceballs?
Helmet?
No. Why can't I remember?
Oh, the Han Solo character.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lone Star. Lone Star.
Lone Star.
Yeah. It's your typical World War II bomber jacket. Pilot, of course.
Perfect.
So, he's got to have a World War II bomber jacket. All the pilots have their own nicknames. His arch rival is called the Baron, and his android is called Fräulein. So he tries to sound German, which you'll find out in the comic book. So
perfect.
yeah, it's there's all the good pilots have nicknames in my world.
And his ship's called Silver.
Yes,
That is great.
Yes, you caught
That is
that.
great.
It's mostly the older references that's going to happen, not the newer ones, right?
Well, and also I wrote it. Like I said, I originally wrote it when I was a teenager, and then in 2012, I produced most of it. So that's probably the older references too. Is you're talking about the comic book originally? Originally is probably 20 years. The idea is over 20 years old, and then that comic book, when I wrote was back in 2012. It took like 3 years to make it, and so yeah, it's been on a long journey, but it's definitely been worth it. It's great now that I've slowly kind of gained readership. It's tough, obviously. This comic is in black and white. It's a new series, so it's been a little bit tougher to fund. My other one's fund pretty quickly, but it's fine. The comic was paid for in 2012, so it's basically like a free comic book for the most part.
This has been a long time coming, basically.
Yeah.
So why the black and white for this one, like in Dime Store Detectives?
I wanted that feel. If you look at the artwork, it's definitely kind of got that old school 80s, art that I thought was cool. And I wanted a change of pace too from my other work. You know, I try to diversify to show that I can write different genres. This is sci-fi. Dime Store is, you know, supernatural / detective, and and I don't really think it needs color. I think it stands pretty well with the black and white. I think it has a cool look to it.
I agree. It feels like it's look at the poster back there.
Yes.
That's perfect. It feels like it's got like an old Dark Horse Aliens comic feel to it, and yet at the same time it feels, I don't know. It's got a Dime Store detective feel to it. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it. Like it feels like something you'd get from the 70s, early 80s.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I was aiming for. I don't know if issue 2 will be in black and white or not. I don't know. It just kind of depends. So
I think it suits it, to be honest with you.
I think it is too, and I like black and white. I think it's almost, I don't want to say a dead art, but it's not done a lot, the old black and white. I think it has its own feel
charm
to it. Yeah, exactly.
In this panel here, they're using like a hollow device, you know.
Yeah.
And then here they're on a hovercraft.
Yeah, they go to the Lake of Terror to find this human artifact that is going to be humorous on its own. The earthling artifacts, treasures, are not what we would think. You know, you have to. It's a comedy too, so these treasures are not going to be like the Hope Diamond or, you know, Roman ancient coin. It's going to be like house. I don't want to give anything away, but it's going to be more the simple day-to-day items that is going to add to the humor of it. So like I said, the ending's got a pretty funny what they discover, but yeah, so they got to go in here. The ship has crashed into this Lake of Terror because it's infested with these huge bloodlust piranhas that they have to retrieve so the Ace can get his get paid to get his pay to get into this ship race where all these spaceships go on a race in outer space. So
that's cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's a really fun story. If you want to read a comic book that doesn't have politics involved, doesn't have any heady items, it's just basically, you know, these three outcasts that everybody are really, I think when they read it, are going to feel like they're part of this group and have a lot of fun. The Ace talks to us. He breaks the fourth wall and kind of
okay.
Yeah, he talks to us, kind of gives us the lowdown of what's going on, introduces everybody. That's what he's doing here. This is, I think, page 3 of the comic book. So, it's definitely, you know, if you like my Alpha Dog, like my Dime Store Detective, it's very different from that, but it's just as well written, I believe.
Well, I mean, I got to admit, I'm kind of really interested in this. Just this little quick rundown of this one page has me wanting to know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Keep scrolling and find out what they're looking for and what these artifacts. I can probably guess. You know, like it's a snarflap. Orc and nobody knows what it is. That's some cool stuff right there.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, like I said, it's a lot of fun, and the tiers are very priced. You know, nothing is expensive. The PDF is only $5. That's the Star Wars homage. The covers are terrific. Javar did that, and I'm going to destroy his name. So Stone Tower Studios did all the cover art for him, and they've done the art for all of my comic books. So, you know, why go against a good thing? Because they've always done a fantastic job.
Is that a Superman throwback?
That is Amazing
Spider-Man.
Fantasy. Yes, you're right. That's Amazing Fantasy.
Superman or Spider-Man?
How could you, dead guy? How could you? How could you not know it was?
Hey, listen,
Spider-Man.
I didn't read the comics when they were that old.
I didn't read any of it, and I know.
Yeah, I figured if you're going to do a debut cover, why not do the best debut cover? In my opinion, is Amazing Fantasy. That's
nice.
This is great here, though.
That's been the most popular one. So that is the homage to Star Wars issue 1 from Marvel.
And see, look, that actually looks like Lance Henriksen right there, a little bit. I think. That's pretty funny. Okay, so I guess, man, you're kind of interviewing yourself, and I love this. Let's get on with the tiers at least, because this is the most interesting part and the one that I personally am most curious about.
Yeah, so the PDF is
So now
24
this
pages.
is
Whoa.
my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it was 24-page comic. The PDF is only $5, which is really reasonably priced.
I
And
agree.
then yeah, and then the physical comic is $10 for the main for the sorry for this Amazing Fantasy homage. Plus you get the PDF too, so it's a pretty decent bargain, I think.
Oh man.
You know, a lot of times people's Kickstarter comics are going for 12, 15, $18. So I try to keep it as low as I possibly could and not lose too much money.
That is a steal.
I mean, $5 used to be $5 footlongs back in the day. Now they're
I know.
$6.
Now they're $6, and they're not actually a foot if you measure them. They're only like. I was very disappointed.
I don't think about it. Just imagine it and you'll be happy.
So live a couple inches in the subway, I guess. I don't know. Oh, we got okay. This is the $12 tier, which this is probably the one I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna have to say.
Yeah, that's been the most popular cover. I never know what's going to be. I like all the covers that are done, but yeah, that's been definitely the most popular.
I'm such a huge Star Wars nerd that it's just
Yeah,
like so well cleverly done that it's just like yeah.
yeah, Javar. Oh gosh, I'm just Javar Koska, who works for Stone Tower Studios, did it, and then that is the main cover. That's the one I wanted to have Fernando do. Fernando Malik, he's the artist for all the Alpha Dogs comic books. He's amazing, as you can see. And Ezekiel Dominguez, who does most of the coloring for my covers. He's amazing too, as you can see. He did that too.
All right.
And then we have the special editions where your name is on the thank you page. You get a Kickstarter exclusive sticker, and I sign the comic too. So it's only a few more bucks more, and I think you get a decent amount of bang for your buck.
Oh,
I
is that
like
the
the
sticker
thank you
here?
note.
Yeah, that's the sticker you get. Your name is on the thank you page at the end of the comic, and then I sign the comic too.
I'm a big fan of the signatures myself. It makes it so personal. Like,
Yeah,
I thought the sticker was a coaster for some reason.
I should do the poker chips.
Oh,
Those were pretty popular back about 10 years ago. I think on Kickstarter. Maybe it was 8 years ago.
what's a coaster? I'm
a
kidding.
coaster?
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I was gonna say, don't you have a few?
Yeah, I do actually. The car cozies are coasters for your car holders. Actually,
Oh,
now that you mention it. But you know what? We're not selling those today. We're selling space cruising. So
you're cruising for a bruising, am I right?
always. So we got this one. Oh man, looks like you get the total package with the Star Wars cover.
Yeah. Yeah, you get the PDF. You get it signed. You get your name on the thank you page, and you get the exclusive sticker too.
Nice.
All right, guys, you getting all this? You getting all this? We got a link pinned in the chat. I believe we do.
Oh, thank goodness I did it. I thought I forgot something.
I was trying to type in the chat and it's not letting me. I'm sorry. Hey guys, hey Reese, hey CNC. I wanted to say hi to you guys without saying it, but it won't let me type in the chat for some reason. So I'm sorry. I got a little distracted there, guys. I'm driving with one hand here.
and this for 32, you get all three covers, and you get the PDF as well. So in any stretch goals that are unlocked, you'll get those. So it's a pretty decent tier.
Okay, so you get all the actual physical copies for all three plus the PDF.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's definitely a deal. It's basically a little bit under, $10. I'm sorry, just over $10 an issue there. So, and then here you get this is the PDF. So you get the PDF of Alpha Dogs, the graphic novel, which is issues 1 through 4, plus the bonus story. You get Space Cruising 1, and then you get the 3 issues of Dime Store Detective.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a great deal. I mean, it's the digital bundle. So I've tried to. It's a lot of pages of comic. I mean, Alpha Dogs I think is like 114 pages in itself, and 2 issues of Dime Store I think are 28 pages. So.
All right, we might be sending the bank account negative this month. This
Well, the good thing about Kickstarter
is
is you can back it now, and no funds will come out until after the Kickstarter ends July 11th. So if anybody's interested,
I can plan on digging my
yeah. Well, I don't get paid till Friday. Well, you don't have to worry about it because you can back it now and not worry about paying until July 11th. So
anybody listening out there, this right here, I'm telling you right now, if you've got the 35 to drop, going to be well worth your time. Just from what I've seen of Alpha Dogs and what I own of Dime Store Detectives, I'm already excited to dig in.
Yeah, there's going to be big things happening in Alpha Dogs we discussed. I can't talk about it yet, but there'll be big happenings with Alpha Dogs pretty soon. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, I can talk about it. So we'll see.
Yeah, this would be the one. Unless you guys like the physical copies, I'm a PDF guy for storage reasons.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to, start doing mobile life. So that, any digital copy I can get of anything is going to be better for me.
Yeah.
A little hard. Okay. Oh, man. This just keeps getting better as we keep scrolling down.
Yeah, that's your name's on the thank you page. I sign them all, and you get the sticker and the PDF for 40.
And see, that's only $5 more.
Yeah.
Oh man, that
priced.
Decisions this week. Decisions, and we've got what is called the Space Cruisin' Mega Bundle.
It's the physical comics of all of the issues that we talked about. All the comics I've ever done. You get the graphic novel of Alpha Dogs in the first 3 of Dime Store. So.
Bianca, why do I keep doing this to myself? All right,
because I force you.
There's no force involved. It's just, man, I start digging through these, and it's like every time I scroll down, John's good at this stuff, man. So it's like every time
I blackmail him, get him to use the money that he has left to buy as much comic books as possible. I threaten him with kindness.
I will be nice to you and say kind words until you buy this. I'm not used to that, so I'm buying it. This is okay. This is the retailer tier.
Yeah, I've anytime I put the retailer tier up, nobody ever buys it. And the one time I didn't, somebody asked me to put it in, so I said, I'll just put a retailer tier just in case. But it's a great deal. I mean, it's well enough. And anybody wants whatever coverage you want. Whatever coverage you want, I'm good with giving them to you. So,
well, I think what I could do is I know it's a comic book store down the street from me. It's my regular that I go to. It's family owned. The brother and sister runs the place, and I've already talked to them for Carissa and Lori. Oh, they want at least what they're from their perspective. They want at least one physical copy to check it out.
Yeah.
But I think giving people personal contact, like an email or something, so they could talk to you guys would be better. Like remove the middleman kind of deal. Because they definitely said they are interested at that particular store. They definitely want to help indie comics and indie comic companies grow. So what I've been planning on doing was grabbing their card and getting their email. They said they are 100% okay with you guys emailing them. And then you could give them the direct link to here's the retailer package. this is what you get. And then kind of tell them directly what you're selling to them. And I think
usually because I'm in about 8 comic book stores. Usually what I do is they just send them the PDF. They look at it. But that's something to think about. But
yeah, quick draw McGraw. I was coming. All right. This. I'll see what I can do about that. I've got your email, obviously. So what I can do is go talk to them in the next couple of days when I head down that way, and I'll grab their card and then just basically make a text in Facebook and send it to all you guys. Be like, send your retailer package to these guys, see if they're interested.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Reese's saying to scroll back up. I looked away from the computer screen for a second, so I have no idea what he's talking about. What did I miss? Were there
Uh,
girls?
comics and cartoons and comics asked a question. I think is could be what he's trying to draw our attention to.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. We're getting lost in the chat, though. We're getting lost in the chat.
It finally
I'm not
happened.
sure. I'm not sure. Maybe we missed something. I'm on this page, so yeah, I'm definitely not paying attention.
Because I don't remember seeing any girls, so I
think
only looked away for a second.
yeah, they can always. I think the link to the Kickstarters in the chat. So if there's something that got missed, and I'm not sure what he's talking about the chicks, you can always go over there and look at it. I guess.
Oh, he's saying
Oh.
a reference. Okay, I got you. He's
Yeah.
He's asking if there's like any covers, but
Which
Oh,
focused on
chick?
women.
girl.
Yeah, he likes the lady.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't do those kind of comics.
I said it in such a weird way.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, I don't do those. I should. They make a lot of money.
I mean, here's my thing. With Dime Store Detective, you could somehow work some of that into it. It could work without it being gratuitous.
There is a sexy girl cover on Dumpster Detective 4. It's nothing gratuitous. She's just in a sexy dress.
Oh,
It's
you
the
know what?
detective.
I think I'm actually hip to. Yes, I think I'm aware. Of at least the character, if I'm thinking correctly.
Yeah, but yeah,
I'm familiar with that storyline. So yeah, if I'm thinking if it's the right character, yeah, she was already in some kind of 90 or something like that.
so but yeah, I don't do the.
So these are the stretch goals, which it actually were. People kept saying them, and I was like, I can do the splits. How come I'm not getting any money? Not those kind of stretches. It's the stretches, meaning if you set higher goals for yourself, and if those are reached, then you set new benefits or new rewards. So let's go over the stretch goals real quick if you want to with this, John.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to read the comments. I was trying to figure out.
You get stuck in there, and then you get lost in the chat.
Yeah. So if you get 2,500, you got the higher quality pages. There's a bookmarker if it reaches the $4,000, and then an exclusive print of Space Cruising if it gets to that, and we'll see. Right now, I'm just trying to get funded, so we'll worry about.
We'll worry about the stretches after that, right?
Yeah.
Let's skip this, and I would like to know a little bit more about this.
Yeah, so that's
So let's.
Yeah, if anybody wants to do a Zoom call and talk about comics, talk about mine or creating comics, yeah, it's 150. You get all the 3 covers, and yeah, if someone's interested, I've been lucky enough that most of my campaigns somebody's backed it. Usually just one person, but it's definitely a thrill to talk about my comics to anybody because
sometimes it's me.
yeah.
If I know I'm gonna get a good payday, I'm like, I can definitely do it.
I mean, the way I see it is the books themselves, whether it's PDF or having the copy in your hand, is what you're spending the money on in the first place. So everything else, John, that you throw in or everything else that you do, it just makes it like so much more. And I do have to say that your pricing is very fair and very reasonable.
Yeah.
It's some of the numbers I see when scrolling on some of the Kickstarters is very intimidating. Like one comic, I get it. They're trying to make a little money, I understand completely, but
yeah, it's people don't realize. I think sometimes how expensive it is to produce a comic book. The art is not cheap unless you want to get a crappy artist, and so why even bother even doing a comic book then? So
right, with comics, man, the art is what catches the eyeballs in the first place. Like it's got to be somewhat interesting. Like not everybody's gonna be as lucky as Frank Miller, where your art just gets the job done at your storytelling. You know what I mean? And it's you gotta get into it to get to the story. So like
people like Frank Miller's art.
I love Frank Miller's art. It's very unique. But my thing is he's not Todd McFarlane. You get what I mean? Like he just got the job done. He'll even admit that. Like my art isn't as good as everybody else's. I just kind of scribbled what I could down. just to so I could tell my story is basically what it was. And his writing is top notch. So I always looked at it like, if the storytelling is good enough and the art just gets the job done, that's good. It's the story that matters, like what you're trying to tell.
Yeah. Especially for someone like me, anybody that runs a Kickstarter, you don't have a name. So really I think it's the artwork that gets them in the door, and the writing is what keeps them there. So
Figure disagrees with me on the Frank Miller thing. We'll agree to disagree on that one. We'll agree to disagree. And that was my whole thing, though, is with comics, to me anyway. This is just a personal standpoint on comics. The story has always been more important. And if the art is good, then it's like, oh, crap, well, this is an all-around package for me. But if the art's just, some stick figures, but if the writing is unbelievably good, then I'll probably still read through it. You get what I mean? And I think with Space Cruising, what I noticed is the unique style that we have in there. I like it. It reminds me of old school comics. It takes it back, and that's something rare nowadays. Nowadays it's kind of like I've noticed especially with indie comics, a lot of the same artwork, same styles.
Yes.
And what I like, if I can find the pages, I think they're down here. If I can find them, it's just unique.
Is it possible for you to go up to see where you saw that poster, girl?
Yes. Sure.
Do you remember where it was?
I'm not sure.
Right there.
Oh, it's in one of these.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
right here. The Dukes of Hazzard. There you go.
Yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah. It's Daisy Duke. The style poster, it's pretty cool.
There you go. I'm pretty sure what I remember back in the day, Daisy was not topless, but
no, the artist he did that. I said Dukes of Hazzard, Daisy Duke, and that was his rendition, which is cool. It's unique.
I'm gonna have to agree with Figure on this one. Sin City, Daredevil, The Dark Knight Returns. This is some of my favorite comics ever written, man. Ever written.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You know what? Now I'm getting lost in the chat because it's a bunch of nerds talking about comics and they're all getting together in one place is what's happening right now. I am definitely, I say it a lot, and I do sometimes say it in vain because I feel bad and I'm just a nice guy and a people pleaser. But I'm definitely back in this, John.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Indigo threw me up because I didn't know that was an instant charge, and it just turned me off on a few things. With Kickstarter, and I shouldn't talk about my financial situations on a live stream, but with Kickstarter, I can plan, and this is much easier for me. So, yeah, buddy, I think I'm already sold on this. I don't know if anybody in the chat who's been paying attention. Some of the guys came in late, but guys, this is, if you liked Spaceballs, what I can tell you right now is this is going to be right up your alley. Just it seems like more telling with that same kind of
flavor. And if did a bunch of new people just join?
We had a few people pop in over the past 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. So we could always play the trailer again if you'd like, and
we can do that
because the trailer's pretty kick butt. I think I've been lucky, and I've been very blessed with the people that I've got together with. Stone Tower Studios. They just make amazing art, amazing trailers. So I've been very lucky.
Yeah, let me.
But if people like comedy, and there's not a lot of comedy in comic books, that this is more comedy than it is adventure. It's got a lot of comedy to it, got a lot of adventure as well. But it's a lot of fun.
All right, well, here we go, guys. For the new guys that just popped in, here's the trailer one more time. It is actually pretty cool.
Nice.
I love that glitch style edit. I love that stuff, man. I do that all the time.
I had to laugh. I love who wrote that. I'm here for the gabagoo. The frog.
That's he interviewed you before.
Yeah.
It's Tony, the Geek Getaway. He changed his name to Frog Tony.
Yeah, I tried to look him up once because I was going to see if he wanted to do an interview, and I could. It was just said didn't exist anymore. So I was like, okay.
Did you change your email address, Tony?
I didn't know that the Frog Tony was that Tony. Okay, now I know.
No, yeah. It wasn't the email address. It was his. Oh gosh, I can't remember if it was his. I think it was his Instagram page was gone. Maybe his Twitter page was gone. I can't remember, but yeah, I tried to click on and.
Yeah, I believe he changed the name to his Twitter page too, so I'm guessing that must have happened with Instagram and maybe the email. Dang it, Tony.
It's all good.
Of Pee-wee. He's got Pee-wee vibes, and I'm getting like Lance Henriksen vibes from that Star Wars.
yeah, I could see the Pee-wee. Yeah, he's a 300-year-old obsolete android. His clothes are tattered a little bit because he's worn the same outfit for like 100 years, and there's been advancements with androids, but he. Unlike any other android, he was installed with human emotions from his creator. So he's got an opinion about things, and him and Ace kind of go at it back and forth. They're somewhat the comic relief of the series with Yuri, the enhanced Bushido warrior, going on, and getting the job done. So there's a lot of backstory there, but we kind of jump right into the story to give you an idea of this world that we live in, and they going on one of their missions. So like I said, it's a lot of fun and a lot of adventure. Who doesn't like that in sci-fi?
Well, and not only that, you're doing something a little different with it too. Almost feels like it's got kind of a Cowboy Bebop flavor to it too. Hey, Michael, good night, buddy.
Yeah.
With all my comics, I try to bring a very unique take on it. If you read Alpha Dog's Dumpster Detective, you're not going to find another comic like those on the shelves, and this I believe is just the same.
No, and honestly, as many times as I've been into places, I hate to say it, like Barnes and Nobles and places like that, these books, out of the very few that I've had the pleasure of talking to you guys about, these books I can absolutely see as I'm passing through the graphic novel sections. I can see them, and seems like they belong there. So, with fingers crossed, hopefully, within the next 5 years, we'll see books on there.
Are you away from the mic right now?
What's that?
You sound far away.
Do I sound far away now?
You sound a little bit closer.
I don't know what happened.
Now you're good. Now
there we go.
I think I bumped my mic, so maybe that did something. I don't know why or how that would do something, but why do I have so many mods? I believe I am a mod. Do you have anything coming up? Do you have any cons or anything coming up?
Yes. If anybody's going to be in Chicago, August, let me look here. August 16, 17, 18, I'll be at the Chicago Fan Expo, which is going to be my biggest Comic-Con I've ever been to. So it gets about 75,000 people. It'll probably even be more because the one and only Mark Hamill will be there. So he doesn't get a lot.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So that's really close. There's a mega bus that takes me from Cincinnati to Chicago for $25.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. It's going to be, like I said, so I'm there. I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be the biggest Comic-Con I've ever been to. So it was awesome that I got accepted. And then I'll be, if anybody's in Detroit in, I think it's September. September 14th, I'll be it's called Frankenfest. It's a big, it's a con/horror fest.
Well, yeah, it's a horror con.
So I'll be there, and most likely I'm in November. I'm either going to be at the Motor City Comic Con, which is the big one in Michigan. I might be at that one, or will be at the Grand Rapids one. I don't know which one because they're 1 week apart. So I've got to decide which one I want to try to get into. So
Grand Rapids is nice.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm not going to say anything about the Motor City. I'd be a little intimidated, to be honest with you, but that's just me.
Oh,
Uh, bus station we were at, I take a lot of Greyhounds. I love traveling that way. And when we got stopped there, we weren't allowed to leave the bus station. Like there were cops out there. Like you can't leave the bus station. I'm like,
oh,
what?
jeez.
Thirsty. I want a cheeseburger. And they're like, you can't leave the bus station. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm being held hostage here.
Oh gosh.
Reese,
Oh,
if you'd like to do the Chicago thing, man, we could meet up
yeah,
and swing by and make a couple stops through Michigan on your way in.
yeah. You guys could come and say hi at my
That
table.
would actually be great. And I've been meaning to get to a con, so that's what the reason I was asking was. First of all, I like for you guys to promote those. I like to know where you guys are.
Yeah,
That's a chance that if you guys are within 100-mile radius of me, I can make it. I'm always looking for an excuse to get out and go to a con.
yeah.
But nobody wants to come to Florida.
Okay, now figure said I sound like I'm in a Twilight Zone episode.
I live in Michigan, so my goal for 2025 will be. I went to one in Ohio this year, the Toledo one, which was amazing. I did really well at that one. So my goal for 2000, yeah, it was at it's called Fan Fest. It's called Fan Fest in Toledo, and yeah, I did actually really really well. I broke my record for sales, and then I broke it again at Traverse City Cherry Con. So that's been every con, thankfully. Any big con, I've been able to outsell the previous one for the most part. So that's been pretty exciting. So
That's awesome.
yeah. So my goal is to get to Ohio in 2025. Go to a big con in Ohio. That's kind of my goal. So.
Yeah, Reese, that'd be awesome because honestly, that is a big one. There's going to be freaking 30 to 40,000 people in and out of that place every day. So to track down John's booth and start talking to him in my Spider-Man get up, and he wouldn't even know it was me.
There you go.
It'd be great, and I think it'd be great just to meet up with some of you guys. I know I was supposed to try to get down. Carissa did a Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh,
I live in northern Kentucky, close to Cincinnati.
okay.
She did a Lexington con. And I was trying to make it down there. It's just the timing was really bad. Like I couldn't leave at the time. But I've been meaning to get back out and start doing some cons again. I mean, what better way to promote a audio comic channel, you know? And last one I went to, I met 3 bands. Imagine that at a Comic Con, I met 3 rock metal bands that do like horror rock and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they all signed up to put music on the Crow audio comic. So it's like, it's pretty neat that you just start making connections whether you mean to or not, just by being friendly.
Absolutely. Yep. That's how you expand is just meeting people and
to be able to get that, the Alpha Dogs graphic novel from you firsthand, I think would be really cool. Get the PDF Kickstarter, and then when I get to see that. So yeah, Reese, just if you're on Facebook or contact me through Bianca or whatever. We'll try to get. When is that? August 20?
August, second week of August. It's August 16, 17, and 18.
Okay, cool. And then Alien Romulus comes out the 21st, I think. So that'll be a great set of 4 days for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay, that all works out. All right. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll discuss that backstage.
I unfortunately blacked out. What are we talking about?
What? Are you okay? We were Reese had mentioned going to Chicago or Michigan in August, which was the timing for when he was going to be at the con in Chicago. And for me, Chicago's a $25 bus ride. It's actually like a common thing. It goes to and from. You get round trip for $25. So
punk.
Yeah, that's
it's really imagine me just hopping on a big mega bus with a bunch of old people going to gamble, and I'm sitting there in my side, headphones on, just jamming. I think it'd be great, to be honest with you. So we'll try to plan that out, but that's all we were discussing at that point. John, why don't you give us another quick rundown for anybody that might pop in?
Yeah, absolutely. So Space Cruising, the comic is done. All the artwork is done. Right now, we're in the process of lettering. So if you do back it, which, like I said, you could back it today and don't have to worry about paying Well, I should say no money will come out until the Kickstarter ends July 11th. So that's the great thing about Kickstarter is you can back something and not even have to worry about it until it ends. And in my case, 16 days from now. But yeah, the artwork's done. The lettering is in the process, so you're not going to have to wait like 6 months, 8 months for your comic book. I fulfill very quickly. As you can see, I've already done 9, fulfilled those in a timely manner, and this one will be no different. I'm hoping that within a few weeks, the digital will be ready to ship out. I mean, to be emailed out, and then as soon as the Kickstarter is done, it will go right to print. So no long waits. I know there's a lot of people that's frustrated, including myself, waiting 8 months for a comic book that you paid for. So that won't be the case with this one. But yeah, so it's pretty much done. It's a fun story. It's a comedy with a lot of adventure into it. You've got these 3 outcasts: this Bushido warrior who's been disavowed by his people, this pilot who loves earthling pop culture. And then you've got this obsolete android. They're really kind of outcasts in society, living in this highly tense world where aliens and earthlings try to get along, even though they've just went to war with the humans coming on top. So it's a very cool, different world that people are going to be introduced to. And these guys, like I said, they're not fighting the Galactic Empire or exploring new worlds. They're just out there trying to find earthling treasures to make a buck. And they end up getting pulled into this intergalactic incident where they have to try and save humanity from this powerful force. So, like I said,
that's actually got some. It's going to sound out there, but it sounds like some Indiana Jones influence a little bit. These guys are kind of, you take the artifact finders and you put them, they're just treasure hunters, out in space.
Yeah.
It's just the treasure to them is probably ridiculously mundane items to us.
Yes. That's part of the humor is some of the history that Ace kind of totally flubs, and because you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of years ago in the history that's lost, So I mean, even us, we've discovered things back with ancient times, and we were totally wrong with just 20 years ago. So now imagine an alien species getting bits and pieces. So mundane items they think are something else, and so there's a lot of comedy involved in the series. So you're going to really feel like you're connecting with these guys, as you're sitting along with them in the pilot's chair, going on these adventures with them. So like I said, if you want a comic that isn't trying to, stand on a soapbox or, be political, it's just something that you're going to sit down, enjoy, and have a lot of fun. That's why I say it's kind of like Spaceballs meets Star Wars.
Okay. That is perfect. And to be honest with you, that's kind of what we need now is we need more comics without agendas tied behind all of it. Really looking forward to that 9/11 comic coming out. I'm sorry.
But
I know
what if the agenda is that I'm awesome? I think I would want a comic book with that agenda 100%.
The agenda that you are awesome? That's not a bad agenda. I don't think that's political.
Also, Sam, I emailed you my schedule for next week. Take a look at it. Thank you. If you can.
No, I don't know who Sam is in the chat. Is that
Sinopa?
Okay.
Sam Quentin.
San Quentin?
I know who that is. Yeah, I back to this
like the prison. Oh, that's San Quentin. Never mind. San Quentin. Okay, well then, yeah, we're doing interviews and scheduling more interviews. That's fantastic.
Cool.
Well, John, it's always a pleasure having you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to discuss or tell us about?
Not really. Well, just Dime Store Detective issue 4 will be dropping on Kickstarter probably mid to early August. I want to get it dropped before the Comic-Con in Chicago so that I can try to get people signed up or at the Comic-Con for Dime Store issue 4. So that's going to drop probably, I'm thinking August 13th. So and that'll be issue 4 of that. But you can get the 3 previous issues on this Kickstarter right now. So and I'm not going to launch obviously until I fulfilled Space Cruising. So there's going to be a not much of a delay before you're able to get your hands on Space Cruising. So
that's freaking cool. And just on that issue 4 of Dime Store, will that complete your first volume for a graphic novel?
Sorta. It'll yes. That'll be volume 1, part 1, basically. Dime Store Detective is going to be 8 issues in all, and what I'm going to do is make the 4 issues, turn that into a graphic novel for the 4 issues, and then do, the next 4. Basically, it's just to raise the funds to do your next Kickstarter, because nobody ever makes money. It's basically just to fund the next comic book. So
that's smart, and I actually really respect how you've got kind of the whole marketing business aspect kind of planned out. For your future. That's so that was cool. I wanted to make sure that, because you did say you wanted to have that out before the con, and I was kind of hoping that. So can we expect the graphic novel shortly after that fourth issue is out, or are you going to wait until?
I hope so. Well, the goal is going to be this, of course, Dime Store Detective issue 4, Alpha Dogs 5, and then the graphic novel for Dime Store Detective. That's like, I don't know if I'll get to Alpha Dogs. I've tried to just do 3 Kickstarters a year because it's so overwhelming, and schedules got kind of crazy that I'm doing Space Cruise almost back to back to Alpha Dogs. I'm sorry, to Dime Store Detective. So I don't know if I'll be able to get to Alpha Dogs in 2024, but I really want to, because we only had the graphic novel with 7. There were 7 pages with the graphic novel that was brand new. So, and a lot of people, Alpha Dogs has been by far my most popular series. So I would love to get that issue 5 out there. It'll be exciting.
I mean, have you thought about merch as far as, just what I've noticed is everybody kind of has plushies, which Alpha Dogs is kind of screaming plushies. It really is. Out of all the plushies I've seen everybody make, I've seen YouTubers make plushies of themselves where I'm like, okay, I'm not buying that. That's stupid. But
I should get I will still get a plushie of myself.
Well, yourself and comics, which would be, would be
it'll be a wolf plushie.
Yeah, with comics that'd be appropriate as hell. But I guess what I'm getting at is Alpha Dogs. I mean, they're dogs. So I mean, to make these little plushies, I think, and T-shirts. I was curious because it seems like it's so marketable, man. That maybe slapping a couple of them on a T-shirt, taking them to a con, see how they wear. Have you thought about it?
What I've heard is that T-shirts and posters are the kiss of death for a Kickstarter.
Really?
So, yeah, that's what I've been told, because not a lot of people order the T-shirts. In the posters, you can't really ship with, which I'd love to do posters, but you can't really ship them in the same. So when I do, and hopefully everybody else does it too, with their comic books, they put them in the Gemini mailers, which makes it so that nothing can hurt that comic book. Right. But if you do the poster, you either got to do it separately or put everything in a box, because it's just not going to work that way. I would love to do a T-shirt for Alpha Dogs. It's something I've thought about, but I don't know. I've never heard good things about doing T-shirts for a Kickstarter. So,
okay, I was curious about that, because
I want to do. So my wife was actually designing. We had bought this dog. What are those things? The pop. Oh my goodness, the pop with the kind of like the bobbleheads that are really popular. The pop.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, so she's gonna try to do one for a buck Alpha Dog, and boy, I can't. I'm just blanking on the name. They're called Pop something. I can't remember what they're called. So yeah, I'm reading it for T-shirts. Use
Funko Pops.
Funko Pops. Thank you.
He said Pops, and I thought that just covered it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'd love to do a Funko Pops, but the dogs, they just don't do very many dogs, and they retired them, so they're really expensive to get the dogs into, and then I would have to have them custom, obviously. So it's tough.
See, now that is great advice.
Yes,
across the board. Because I mean, even I'm looking to market some T-shirts from time to time, and the regular stores that us like streamers or YouTubers can go through, like Spring and all that, they upcharge people so much it's not worth. Like, if you're trying to sell a T-shirt for a fair price, you're making $1 profit on that.
Exactly.
The company's making all the money, and it's like I'd rather go with people that are independent or used to this sort of thing, you know, where they take less of a cut. The person's paying for the product that they're getting. I wouldn't want profit. I'm happy somebody wearing my shirt is all I'm saying. But I also don't think $1 worth time in designing a shirt. You get what I mean? So it's I guess for you guys, it's hard. And I would trust your guys' opinions from the comic book people. If you're like, it's kind of the kiss of death, meaning the shipping ends up killing you, or what Sinopa said, people don't buy them as often as they would buy like a print or something else.
Yes.
You get that. So you'd lose money from the marketing aspect of that, not getting it back, and that would suck to have 100 shirts sitting in a box when you're on your deathbed. What is this? It's a box of his old comic book T-shirts.
Exactly. So
send them to Goodwill.
not gonna happen. So
Definitely gonna check out Printful.
Yeah,
Usually
that was
there's not
some
a
good
lot,
advice.
Yeah, I usually there's not a lot of companies that are like everywhere, but since this one has one in the US, Canada, EU, and Australia, so the shipping isn't that much, that's pretty great.
yeah.
I guess that means they've got companies based just about anywhere where you're not going to pay any more than probably $10 to $20 for shipping, which can make a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just
But
sharing
either
all
way, that
this
was just something I was curious about, because it seems like with Alpha Dogs, it's extremely marketable. And this too, absolutely, with all the pop culture references. And I think when you were talking about the time period you were writing this, like as you were compiling all the ideas together, and I guess working on your outline for the whole story, I think the timing worked out, because think of the pop culture reference that you were going for 20 years ago from the time that this was being written, where we're at now. You're going to have kids that are watching Stranger Things and catching up on all these 80s and 90s stuff that are going to be familiar with the references that are being thrown out now. You know what I mean? So I think the timing on accident is going to work out really well for this. So I think I got faith in this for the future of this particular.
Yeah, I hope so. Like I said, it's a terrific comic book, and if anybody's read my Alpha Dogs or Dumpster Detective, it's just as good. It's just a totally different genre. So, and who doesn't like comedy, in their comic books? So,
me personally, I don't. But I am a dark.
I digress.
A dark individual. Like, have you seen this show? It's like, do people die brutally in it, or is there sex in it? And they're like, no. I was like, then no, I'm not watching it. Like,
well, there's definitely a lot of Bushido Warrior sword play fights in the series, so it's got.
This sounds great.
I mean, him slicing an alien fish was pretty cool.
Yes.
Just bleeding out into the water.
It's like Todd McFarlane comics. That's hilarious.
The big chesticles.
Yes. So there's a little bit for everybody in this series.
Look, cartoons to comics has a point, because I actually own a Game of Thrones shirt. So I guess it depends on what you're putting on your T-shirt and selling at your comic book store. But at the same time, a Game of Thrones, I think just picking something from the show and putting on a T-shirt isn't copyright. You can't put a Batman logo on a T-shirt and then sell it. You're going to get buttloads of trouble if you get caught doing that. But you could draw Batman and put him on a shirt, and you're absolutely fine. It's so weird how that works.
Yes.
You got me with the Todd McFarlane comics. That made me laugh. Now I'm all flustered, and I don't know what to do. Bianca,
I'm here.
is there anything that you would like to add or ask?
I would like my mind back. Anything I was gonna talk about has left my brain. And this is why I have you here. I was hoping when I eat, the whatever I had that was missing from my brain would like come back, but it's doing that slower than I thought. That's why I got you here.
Eggy eggs. Eggs are brain food. Eat eggs.
Oh, I can't have eggs though, only the yolk. Oh, my life.
Well, those of you that have joined us for this, we do have a debut comic from Jon Dexter. We had him on for his debut of Alpha Dogs. I think Bianca, you
And
had
Dime Store Detectives. That
some sort of
Yeah.
detective. So
yeah,
this
that's
is
me.
pretty cool. That we've had him on for every one of his debuts on his newest comics that are coming. Or you had him on Dime Store. I think we did Alpha Dogs together. Oh, and I also had mentioned to him, since we were merging, everybody that we have on that is a repeat offender, as I like to call them. I'm going to run by them backstage if they're okay with me sending the older interviews that we did on my channel to you, and that way we can put them up, and that to put contact information on those old videos. If these guys want to get a hold of them to buy that particular issue and they're not running a campaign, give them a way to reach out. And John was totally okay with that. So I'll
Absolutely.
get together and send them to you sometime this week. And I think how would it work? Would you just want us to put a link to this particular Kickstarter, or do you have a perma? Say you're not running a campaign that particular month or whatever, but they still want the comic. How would they get a hold of you, John?
You can get a hold of me on my Kickstarter. That's one way to get a hold of me. But also, I'm on Twitter at Real Alpha Dogs. I'm on Instagram at Alpha_Dogs_comic, and I'm on Facebook, Jon Dexter or Alpha Dogs. So
Okay, cool.
when I first started out, I didn't know, what was going to happen. So I just did everything Alpha Dogs. I didn't know, if I was going to go beyond issue 1. So all my handles were all Alpha Dogs related. But now I have 3 comics out, but I've already gained. I'm not going to change it and do something different. So
Right.
Also, his links are in the description. Not only the Kickstarter, but I did put in his Twitter and his Instagram as well.
Okay, cool. So then we'll simply copy paste all that stuff to that video when I send it to you in the description. That way everybody's got a contact no matter what. Even if they're watching an old Dime Store Detective one, and be like, hey, where can I just want issue 1 of this? At least they have a way to reach out if they can't. Obviously on our YouTube channels, I don't put where you can personally contact me. That would be stupid, So it's every crazy person in the planet. Here's my personal address. Come see me.
And I encourage anybody that might be interested in my other comics to, if you click on the Kickstarter here, if you click on my name, the little one that's got my dog that inspired Alpha Dogs on there, you can go back and look at the trailers for all my past Kickstarters, and they're just as cool as the Space Cruise one. So if you can't get interested in what I'm writing from the trailers, then I'm kind of out of ideas, because the trailers. So, yes, you can click on the 9 here that's highlighted and look at my past campaigns, the trailers, and they're pretty exciting. So
wow. I agree, and I've read them.
Thank you.
Let's see. I'm going to refresh just to see if we've gained any new people since we started. Not yet, but you know what? It's only been an hour. And
it was 170 something before we started, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah. I saw it go to 185, and now I see it up to 190.
Cool.
The 190 is me.
Oh, thank you, Bianca. I appreciate that.
Oh, okay. Well, cool then, Bianca. I'm sorry I didn't notice that. I guess I've been on this page too long.
No, you didn't. Oh, you didn't know about the update. So it updates in real time now.
And I've been refreshing, but I guess I just refreshed too soon and didn't notice the change, is what it was. So
no, you don't have to refresh it anymore.
Oh,
it does. It's now like YouTube, where if you see a like in real time, you also get to see the numbers go up in real time too.
Reese is now coming in with most of my T-shirts are at least R-rated, maybe PG-13.
Maybe PG-13.
Mine are all nerd rated. Like either Star Wars or video game shirts. That's all I wear. No wonder people think I'm still in my early 20s.
Hi, Pops. I see Madness now.
Pops is in here.
How's it going?
Woohoo! Wow! I didn't mean to show that.
Reese, how do you even wear R-rated shirts in public?
I guess the censor bar on the quote-unquote important parts.
If we could get those glasses, like the Google glasses where you wear them and it puts like a HUD over everything, like you got your access to your email and all that. You could actually real-time blur stuff out. Like
That's a Black Mirror
Siri, would you please
episode.
blur out ugly people? I don't want to actually see ugly people. And you'd have to give it like what you think is ugly, you know? Anybody that looks like Paris Hilton. Blur out everybody that looks like Paris Hilton. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm really sorry.
Thank you, Pops.
He's got this one coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I gotta admit, John, you are one of the most unique comic creator, writer guys that I think I've had the privilege to talk to.
I appreciate it.
Everything you come up with is what I would think would be left field for what's coming out right now.
Yeah,
And
definitely different.
It's got some popular spins on it. It's got flavors that it seems like you're drawing inspiration from all kinds of cool stuff, but yet putting your own unique spin and compiling it your own way and writing your own story to them. And I'm just very impressed, man. I think I was pretty excited when me and her started talking about it, and then I finally checked into the Kickstarter and saw that this was going to be like a sci-fi, but I didn't look too far into it. I figured I'd let you tell me about it.
Yeah.
And I'm this might be the most interesting one from you yet, man. For me, anyway. This seems like something that's right up my alley. I think I'm going to enjoy this one quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe you will. And I appreciate you guys having me on and helping promote it and backing it. It means a lot to me. I know probably people say all the time, but it definitely means a lot because it's I put a lot of work into it. And to have anybody enjoy what you're doing is pretty cool. So, and to help me promote it, I really appreciate it.
I mean, to be honest with you, John, Bianca's going to agree with me. You, even Richard Duree, Rick, and Lori, you guys pretty much interview yourselves. You guys are such professionals. You've got your stuff down pat. You know, you've got your marketing down pat. You got everything just, probably sitting on a file on desktop. You just go, you
should have seen me when I first started doing interviews. It was pretty horrible. So
it can be awkward. You're with people that take really long pauses. Like you say something and you sit there for 30 seconds, like, who talks next? I've seen a lot of interviews like that, and I'm like, somebody needs to fill in the gaps here. I get jacked up on coffee before we do interviews.
There you go.
Gaps. But I mean, it's always a pleasure having you on. Bianca, do you have any interviews coming up that you can let everybody know while they're here?
Yes.
That you want to promote right now, maybe?
Yes.
Good.
Okay, so I am having a total of 4 more interviews in the next couple of weeks. I have one tomorrow, which I have to ask them for some stuff. Somebody contacted me on Instagram, and funny enough, their name has the word comics in it, and apparently they do comics themselves, but they were asking for somebody else, and I said, sure, I have time to interview this person. And they're like, okay, can you interview like 2 or 3 more people for July? And I said, yeah, I totally can. Yeah, sure. Give me all their info.
Yes.
So I have one tomorrow, which I have to make the new thumbnail for, get their info, blah, blah, blah. And then I have one with Sam on July, which is the schedule I sent him to see if he was interested in next week. I may have 1 or 2, depending. And then two more. What are 2 more? I forgot my numbers. I think 2 more. Also in July. I just got a notification that one of them just went live. So I'll have them like around early July if they have not made if they didn't get anybody for those specific days on the schedule yet. I'll keep you updated.
I know, what is it? Lori has one. Active right now.
We gotta.
I'll talk to Lori. I'll talk to Lori. Just let me know the days and times, and I'll try to schedule it to where it's not interfering with any one of those dates. And I think Carissa has one that's going on right now too, doesn't she?
Time was not chosen yet. We still have to discuss on the time.
Okay.
Usually it's always around this time, but sometimes I'll have it earlier depending on their time zone.
Okie dokie. Well, that's cool. That's good news. That means Beast Channel is going to be literally, yeah. I was going to say, Lori and Carissa both have actives. I know I've been talking with Lori, and man, we have Carissa on, so I know it's just a matter of days till we're like scheduling an interview with her. I know that. I was just curious if you want to tell anybody about anything. Beast Channel is about to be blowing up for the next month for interviews, which is really good. And I know it won't be very long till we have Jon back, too. I know that for a fact. So
yeah.
I'm excited for that one. I'm really excited for that one. For you, anyway. I'm really excited for it. So without saying anything else, I'm just excited to have him back. So I think everybody keep an eye on Beast Channel, because I think it's going to be extremely busy over the next month, probably way busier than it's been over the past few months, right?
So I'll be dying and burnt out. Making a schedule on my own where I want to do stuff, I'm too tired to do. But somebody asked me to say, hey, you want to interview me or something? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. What do you time? What day? Let's do it. Let's just get it over with. And that's just somehow much easier for me.
Let's just do it right now. Okay, let's do it.
That actually did happen.
Reese is excited. I'm looking forward to it too, man. To be honest with you, B's a good place for everybody to get together and hang out. And at the same time, she's bringing all these comics to us and letting a bunch of nerds talk to a bunch of other nerds about the comics they're making. I think it's fantastic. So I think merging it and dropping it on my channel and just helping B and doing it with her was the best thing, because that way we're kind of teaming it out, and if B's busy or got stuff going on, or gets a little flustered during the stream or taking care of backstage stuff, I can just talk, kind of take over. So I think it works. Either way though, guys, go ahead.
I'm in Florida. We are now in hurricane season.
Oh shit.
So until like November, I guess. Sometimes some interviews end up going in and out. I've had that a few times during hurricane season last year. And it was, I hated it so much. I was on an interview with Nick, and I believe I got kicked out, knocked out my internet twice. So, sometimes things happen. Yay.
Yeah. Well, if hopefully, hopefully we can work that kind of stuff out too and plan ahead. That way, if something happens, I mean, I'm Northern Kentucky. We don't get hurricanes, but the weather does shut our internet down. I will say that we get bad storms up here. So I understand that. So, and I'm sure everybody else does too. Anyway, anything else, B, that you'd like to add?
I think that is it. I'm really looking forward to this space cruising comic.
Me
since
too.
I do like comedy, and this bunch of ragtag team of misfits sounds super interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited. And when are you shoot? What is the finished date?
The July 11th.
Okay, cool. No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yes.
Just something to put into my head for later when I actually sign into my account here.
Like 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks. We got this.
That's perfect. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, I am pretty much out of questions and out of things that I can ask, and running out of things to talk about, to be honest with you, to fill in.
Well, yeah, that means it's around time to end the stream then.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it, and we'll definitely talk again soon.
Oh, we got a date.
Yeah, July 2nd. Awesomeness. So next week, I'm pretty sure July 2nd is probably a Tuesday or Wednesday. All right. So we got another interview, July 2nd. Woo! All right, guys, have a nice day.